so excited to have Nole from Oh So Beautiful Paper with us today. I have been a fan of her work for a long time, so thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's my absolute pleasure to be here.
And speaking of Oh So Beautiful Paper, which in the world of gracious living, I love everything that you do. Tell us a little bit about your mission with it.
Well, so I started Oh So Beautiful Paper in 2008 after getting married and falling in love with the world of wedding invitations. So that was my gateway into the world of paper and stationery in general. But since then, Oh So Beautiful Paper has evolved, and our philosophy is that stationery is an extension of your personal style. And so my mission is truly just to connect my readers with the stationers that best represent their aesthetic, their style, their overall lifestyle.
It's an accessory to who you are, and I think that people get so caught up in the rules of it and it being rigid that we forget that it's so fun and playful.
Absolutely. Stationery should be fun. It should represent you. People should open up a card or, something from you in the mail and know that it came from you.
Yeah. It's like shoes, kind of. It's fun.
Absolutely. Yes, way better than shoes in my opinion, but that might just be me.
No, that's good. Okay, so now at the show, what are you seeing and loving?
So I just got here.
Okay.
So I've been to the Best New Product competition, and I've been to one booth so far here. So I'm very early on, but I made a beeline for Liz from Linda and Harriet. She was my first stop as a booth. I just think she's doing really innovative, creative work. She has such a unique style, and I've just been a huge fan of her work for a long time. I think this is a really great show, and there's a lot of really wonderful product, unique product out there. So I have a long walking list, a lot of booths to get through, and I'm just really excited to see how people are representing themselves through their work.
It's fascinating. I love it too. Okay, so in thinking about the industry in general, what are some things that excite you about where we're headed?
For me, it's really getting to see companies that have that very unique perspective on design and doing something that just no one else is doing in the industry is so exciting. I love to be able to look, even if I go to a larger stationery store, if I'm just browsing online, to be able to look at a card and know exactly where it came from. And I think the great thing about our industry and the way the stationery industry has evolved over the last few years, there's a customer out there for everyone. And so people can really design for themselves, be themselves, and there's someone out there that wants that product.
Which is why I love what you do, because I think that a lot of times it gets overwhelming and people are like, oh, well, I don't have time to scour the web for something. Right. And so that's where you come in.
Yes, I try to curate and try to really pick what I feel are the best of an individual category or an individual style and showcase that for my readers. And I try to be broad and know that even if something is not my personal style, it is for someone out there. So yeah, I mean, there's really just so much out there, and there's a customer and a consumer for that.
Okay, so let's talk blogging. Sure. Now, you are an expert at it, and it can be intimidating for some people. I have a blog, and it's intimidating for me sometimes. So what would the tips that you have for a budding blogger, or even a seasoned blogger like me, for engaging and connecting and kind of elevating your work?
I think my number one piece of advice for anyone who is thinking about starting a blog, or really, I guess, any new business, is to do something that you're really passionate about. I think if you try to force yourself into something or say, oh, there's an opportunity with a particular idea, but it's not, like, your heart is not in it, it'll feel forced, and that'll come across to your readers. I love stationery. I call myself a paper cheerleader. Like, I just love what people do, and I think that comes across, the level of enthusiasm and just genuine interest. And so that's my number one piece of advice, is to just do something that you love and pour your heart into it, because that's what makes the long hours and everything else worth it. But I think, if someone's looking for an idea, what I say is try to pick something that you wish you could find in the internet that you don't feel is currently out there, and do that. Offer that service.
And be yourself too. That's the other thing. I think it's so easy to get inside your head, and then
Yes.
you read other people and I think, oh, they're so funny or they're so clever, and just to be you.
There needs to be a personality behind it. I think sometimes people try to take themselves out of the equation, and that's just the wrong way to go because it feels flat and people don't connect with the author behind it. So yeah, I think keeping your personality, your voice, your unique voice as part of your writing is really important.
That's great. Great advice. Okay, so now we're going deep here. We are talking stationary confessions.
Yes. Yes.
So, Nole,
Yes.
do you have a stationary confession, hashtag stationary confession, that you would like to share with us?
Sure. So I will totally admit to, being, what is the metaphor, the shoemaker's daughter has no shoes kind of thing. Like, I am always late in sending my birthday cards and anniversary cards and whatever. I will buy like all the belated, cards for everything. I'm pretty much always late for special occasions, which is a wonderful thing, but I do send a card eventually, which is the most important part.
That is the most important part. And from an etiquette standpoint, just send the card. So thank you for sharing that, because that's what we need to make paper real. And I think that people feel like, I missed that 2-week window, I'm not going to do it, right? So send it.
And I mean, as a recipient, when it comes to thank you cards or anything like that, I would rather get one 6 months later than someone not send it at all. So I definitely try to live by that standard of, I'd rather send it even if it's late, and, and write something in there that says, I'm sorry I'm late or whatever, but I love you so much,
Right.
and this is why.
I own it.
Yeah,
own
exactly.
it. And be gracious with those late.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Not judge. Don't count.
No.
Don't count on your fingers. Hold on.
I totally don't. I'm just more thrilled that someone thought to send me
Absolutely.
something. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to chat with us and to share your confession.
Don't judge.
I know a lot of people will identify. We're happy to hear this. So thank you.
Thank you for having me.